Hi, I'm Johnny from ultimatepapermache.com, and this is the third in a series of videos that I'm doing to show you how I'm sculpting this gray wolf for a wall mask. I did receive a question that was rather observant, I thought, from one of my blog visitors, and I thought, oh yeah, probably a whole bunch of other people are observing the same thing. This is not quite the same thing as what I did in a previous video series showing you how to make this pantalone mask. This was made using a super sculpty sculpture, and then I put paper mache over the model, and when the paper mache was dry, I pulled it off. It's a special paper mache. It's not your normal. It's using shop towels and a fast setting paper mache paste. So it's a little bit different from your normal paper mache, but still that's basically what I did. Used this for a mold and put paper mache over it. Now this time I'm not using Super Sculpey. The reason I'm not using Super Sculpey is just because someone out on YouTube happened to be using this. His name is, I think, David Lemon. You can find him at Clay Guy 1. He does just fabulous sculptures, and this is the clay he used, and so I thought, hey, I want to have some of that. So I bought it. You could use this for a positive mold too. Be a little bit harder to pull out of the mask, but still it works. But I'm not going to be making a positive mold for this one. I could, but I'm not going to. And that's why I'm using clay ears. You don't want to put anything on a positive mold that may get trapped inside of the paper mache after it dries, because the clay has oil in it and it'll seep out and it'll ruin the finish on your mask. This guy, as you'll probably be seeing as I keep on doing these videos, I'm going to be making him the same way I did the cougar and this hippo. The kudu up there is actually in How to Make Masks, my book that I just came out last month, and it was made exactly the same way that I showed you in the pantalone mask video. This one though, because I'm going to be making a negative mold, I'm going to make him using a recipe that I came up with last year with the help of Jonty. He's a fellow that you probably recognize his name if you've been involved in paper mache online for very long. He passed away last year, but he was really into the whole community. It came up with just an incredible number of ideas. He was really inventive. He was always experimenting with something, and he was experimenting with this idea of using cellulose insulation or recycled paper and plaster. And so after we had several conversations, I came up with this recipe of my own. You can't use this for a wearable mask, but if you would like to have a wall mask that looks like this, and if you would like to go to the expense and trouble of making a silicone mold like I'm going to for this one, you can find that information of how I'm going to be doing that if you go to ultimatepapermache.com and look up, or just do a search for cougar. That's the cougar back there. I think you can see him. And the recipe and the information about how the silicone mold was made and all that stuff is out on my website. I don't think that a negative mold will work for any form of laminated paper mache. This was laminated because there's 2 layers. Most paper mache, if you don't use the fast setting paste, most paper mache is like 8 or 9 layers. And if you know of anybody who is really capturing detail on the inside of a negative mold with laminated paper mache, I sure do hope you'll let me know how they're doing it, because I haven't been able to figure it out yet. I don't think that you can make a wearable mask easily using negative molds, but there's no reason whatsoever to make a silicone mold anyway if you only want one mask. If they're really expensive. This fellow, just the mold itself is going to cost $15. And I wouldn't do it if I didn't want more than one, and if I wasn't making it for the wall. Now, why am I making more than one? That's another question. Maybe I'll get into that next time. It's part of a conversation we're having over on my blog, but that's a totally another thing. So let's get started. I want to show you how I got to this point before I take up too much more of this video time. So let's get started here. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is my model. Banjo did a huge amount of help with me today. I had to bribe him, of course, but he works for minimum wage, so that's okay. So what I did today, basically, was refine things just a little bit with the help of Banjo. He helped as much as he could. Holding still isn't his strong point, but I worked on the shape of the muzzle here. This line here, there's a bone that comes in here, and so this is a little bit of a dip down. So I made this muzzle heavier, so it's now looking a little bit more like a male wolf than it was before. I worked on this little flap of skin right here that goes around the corner of the mouth. It's kind of an important little bit. This part in here underneath is not going to be cast because I have to have access to the underside of the entire mask on the negative mold, just because of the process that I'm going to be using. So we're not going to, this isn't going to be, well, how I say, it's going to be open when the final mask is done, but you will be able to see the corner of the mouth here. I did a lot of work on the eyebrows and up on this area, trying to get the shapes better. This took a number of hours, actually. It doesn't look like I did very much, but I really worked on it for a long time, and much too long of a time to put in a video. That's kind of why I'm running through this rather quickly. And then as to where the ears go, I'm guessing. Basically what I do, because the ears on a wolf are so expressive, I just moved them around until I found the spot that I liked. I want a wall mask that I can live with. Something that isn't snarling or growling or upset or scared, or any of the things that they could say with their ears. Well, and their teeth, of course, but that's another point. So I'm putting it in a neutral space, and I also have them rather far forward because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be cutting off part of the back here, just so that I can have it sitting on the wall up just a little bit more with his nose just a little bit higher, because so that I can see more of the front of his nose rather than just having to look at the top. So that's what I did today. It doesn't look like I did very much, but I actually did work on it a long time. So I'm going to see you again in the next video. I'll be putting the ruff on here, and I'll be doing a lot of detail work to get the fur on here all going in the right directions, get it all smoothed up. And Keely's going to help me again, of course. The nice cat. So I'll see you again. If you're interested at all in that book I kept mentioning at the beginning of this video, you can see how to make masks out on Amazon.com. And you can visit me at any time, ask any questions you like at ultimatepapermache.com. And you can see more of my videos on the YouTube channel Ultimate Paper Mache. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.